Once again, you guys aren't missing much of the last chapter. They're both basically reiterating the same thing. Just know it's several months ahead. Goku's been training, keeping up to his word, reinforcing his bond with Chi-Chi and Goten. And Krillin mentioned a lot of stuff that we've already know about how Gohan will change and yada yada yada. And now Vanilla wants to talk with Goku. There. I just summoned up a single chapter that could have been combined into one! But no! Chapter 18. Table for Two. In the mountains, approximately 50 kilometers northwest of Mount Frying Pan, four men are enjoying a hike along the rugged terrain. It's proven to be a perfect day for an outing. Not too hot, not too cold, not a cloud in the sky. The four had been traveling for a few hours, enjoying the scenery along the way, when the lavender-haired boy leading the group came to a halt. Trunks, what's the holdup? Goten asked his friend as he caught up with him. The older Demi-Sane was looking at his watch. It's almost noon. I'm getting hungry. How about we take a break and eat lunch? The mere mention of food caused Goten to start salivating. He didn't realize how famished he was until Trunks brought up the subject. He nodded vigorously approval. That sounds like a great idea. Trunks quickly scanned the nearby area. How about over there? He said, pointing to a small clearing that overlooked the valley. Perfect! Goten replied enthusiastically. He then turned to the other two meters behind him. Hey! He said. We found a spot for us to eat lunch! Before any response could be made, Trunks took the initiative. Better hurry up before I eat all the food! He yelled as he took flight towards the clearing. Turning back to see his friend now far ahead of him, Goten was quick to protest. You better not eat it all! I'm hungry too! He then clumsily flew after him. I'll see the two fly to their new destination. Gohan sighed and smacked his head with his palm. Don't they understand the point of hiking is to use your feet and not fly? Who cares? It's lunchtime. Vegeta commented as he walked by Gohan and flew over to the small clearing as well. Gohan sighed once more as he gave it to the flight and followed him. As the group reconvened, they sat down in a semicircle on the lush grass and faced outward towards the scenic landscape. Trunks and Vegeta handed out the food that Mrs. Priest had packed for all of them. The scenes never ending, and the four of them ate. Silence fell upon them as they quietly enjoyed their meal. The only sounds heard were the natural sounds of the wilderness, and they created a perfect environment for their lunch break. Becoming mesmerized, Goten found himself looking around, almost as he realized the tranquil beauty around him for the first time. What's wrong, Goten? His brother asked, wondering why he suddenly seemed lost in his own world. Huh? Goten asked, snapping out his days. Oh, I was just thinking of the view. It's been a while since I've been to this part of the world. I almost forgot how peaceful it could be here. Taking notice of the view himself, Trunks turned to his father. Hey, Dad, we should bring Brawl and Ma out here sometime to hike with us. They might enjoy experiencing the outdoors. It'll be good exercise. Vegeta looked at his son. The only idea of exercise, experiencing the outdoors for those two, is shopping their way across town. The statement caused laughter among the group, because they knew it to be quite true. I wonder if Bulma went out shopping with Pan and Brawl after we left, Goten commented. He announced his brother. Maybe he should have had Krillin babysit Pan instead of Bulma. So he might teach her the power of a grade card. The group laughed again. Oh, please, we all know it's Piccolo. Thank you, Dragon Ball superhero. Speaking of that, what did you say Vanilla was today? Trunks asked. Oh, she actually has a meeting with someone from her office. Some last-minute prep before she goes on paternity leave tomorrow. Trunks didn't realize how soon she was expecting. Oh, the big day's coming up. What's he do? Gohan began counting the days on his head. About 3 weeks. This is why it'll probably be my last hiking trip for a while. Well, when everything does settle down, we have to do this again. Right, Dad? He looked up at his son, his face stuffed with food. He did not pay attention to a word that had been said since he made his comment about his wife and daughter shopping. Do what? He asked. Once again, Gohan, Trunks, and Goten broke into laughter. Meanwhile, in East City, Fidel clutched the handle of her umbrella. Ella, Amela. Close to her chest, as the rain poured down in the darkened sky. With each passing minute, the storm appeared to be getting worse. Where are you? She questioned aloud before looking at her watch. Do we agree at noon, right? Or was it later? Or was it a different place? Looking at the bright neon sign above her that read Sirius Cafe. That hurt me right there, Vic. So you remember specifically telling him this location. After all, so you wouldn't mistake the details for remaining disappointed. You know, Fidel, I'm pretty positive flying wouldn't hurt the baby. You could have gone to him. Cell phone, calling. There's so many ways that this could have been made easier. No, this is right. Just be patient. He isn't the most punctual person. Just relax. She took a few deep breaths to calm herself down. Then her wait was over. Fidel? A voice called from behind her. The woman turned around to be greeted with the person she had been expecting. Goku, she muttered. The two stood on the sidewalk in front of the cafe. Total silence as the city around it became a blur. Neither of them quite expected this moment to be as surreal as it was. Months had passed since they had seen each other, but it seemed like years instead. Both their lives had changed in rather drastic ways, and now existed an awkwardness between them, given the circumstances of their last interaction. Eventually it was Goku who broke the silence. It's cold and rained pretty hard. We should go inside. Fidel nodded in response. She opened the door for his daughter-in-law, and they made their way inside the restaurant. After requesting a table for two, the pair were led to a table in the corner, near a large window overlooking the street. Or sitting down, Fidel hung a trench coat on a nearby hanger wall. As Goku followed suit, taking off his green and black jacket. She noticed he was completely dry, having been in the rain without an umbrella. How are you not soaking wet? She asked, rather amazed. Goku smiled and responded, I used Ki to create a small barrier between myself and the rain. That's cheating and you know it, Fick! Fidel let out a smile across her face. I guess there are tricks I have yet to learn. As soon as they both sat down, their waitress came by, inquiring what they would like to drink. Can we have a pot of green tea specialty cups? Fidel asked. Coming right up! The waitress told them before heading out to place their order. For the second time, the two looked at each other, saying nothing. The only sounds they heard were a few voices from the other cafe patrons, soft jazz music playing overhead, and the rain pattering outside the window. Fidel spoke up. I suppose you're wondering why I called you? Goku nodded. Guess you won't be surprised when I tell you it's about you and Gohan. No, he responded, keeping an almost melancholy posture. No, he did not feel like his happy, carefree self. Goku, have you ever heard the phrase time heals all wounds? Yes. And do you believe it? Considering how many villains I've let be redeemed, yes. Fidel sighed. I used to, but I'm not sure anymore. The Saiyans started to become confused. What was this all about? Goku, that night after the party, we were all shocked by the conversation he had with you. Can't speak for everyone else, but I can tell you I learned things about his past I'd never known. That being said, I had a feeling he wasn't telling us the whole story. Despite his aggressive behavior, there was something about it that seemed reserved. The next day I heard him talking with my dad about the situation. Since this urging him to disclose some kind of information he seemed to be bottling up. Something I believe he's been hiding from everyone for years. Okay, if this leads where I think it is, this is going to cause a whole slew of headaches. Goku had a level of surprise and concern. Here you go, the waitress said as he came by, setting down a pot of tea with 2 cups, and unknowingly interrupting Fidel. Is there anything else I could get for you too? No thank you, Goku answered gently. Alright, enjoy, she said before walking away to attend to the other customers. Fidel rubbed her temple as he began to rethink the location for their meeting. She wondered if he should have picked something more private. Maybe you should have! With less possibilities of disruptions. Sensing her stress, Goku poured both of them some tea that had just been delivered near to the table and handed her a cup. Closing her eyes, she inhaled the aroma of the hot beverage and took a sip. There was an immediate effect of helping calm her nerves. Fidel? The woman opened her eyes back up and started from where she left off. I believe that everything that's happened between you and Gohan recently has to do primarily with one thing. What? Goku asked. He was eager to learn what she knew. Perhaps the situation could provide the key to reconnecting with his son. He wanted to be able to correct his past wrongs or restore their relationship to what it once was. Fidel sighed once again. Her anxiety and stress was quickly coming back. She was trying to think of a way to word what she wanted to say without sounding judgmental. I believe this whole thing has to do with something Gohan actually talked about when he confronted you. This feeling of abandonment he's had. More importantly, his feeling of abandonment after the Cell Games. The Cell Games? Goku questioned with mild surprise. You go on and been bitter about his past existence. What was the event? But was that event the main cause? Maybe Gohan realized he fucked up and he was the one responsible for Goku leaving because Gohan let Cell live? I talked with some people I'd rather not name because I don't want to get them too involved. They told me what exactly happened that day. How, when Cell was self-destructing, you said your goodbyes to everyone. Teleported to Cell, then teleported to King Kai's place where you were killed by the explosion. They also told me how you refused to be whisked back because you thought the Earth would be safer without you. Gohan alluded to this that night, didn't he? Goku nodded. Videl continued. He alluded to the guilt he faced when you abandoned him. I think these feelings, related to your death at the Cell Games, is primary cause for his anger towards you. It's a topic he's only vaguely talked about, and when it's mentioned, he's quick to change the subject. I believe what he's been hiding from everyone is the details of how he experienced things, and how he experienced things that day traumatized him. One of the people I talked to said that they thought that Nose had changed him after that day, but he brushed it off as their own state of grieving. Based on what others have said, not sure Gohan was ever the same after that day. Considering that Gohan's next appearance after that was during Mr. Satin's games in movie 9 and Gohan proceeded to go off, I doubt it. Goku looked down at his reflection in the tea. As his actions really caused such trauma, he witnessed the anger his son had towards him, but what Videl was talking about brought everyone to a whole new level. While he took a moment to digest this information, he asked Videl to elaborate on points. You mentioned you talked with your dad. What did he say? As Videl began to recount the bits and pieces he had overheard, the rainstorm continued outside. Mom, can we get some lunch soon? I'm getting pretty hungry. A blonde-haired girl asked her mother as they walked down the city sidewalk, sharing a large umbrella to shield them from the rain. They did not smile, and the woman replied, Sounds like a good idea, Marin. There should be a food court just around the corner we could go to. Great! Then can we go to the art museum? We could do anything that keeps us out of this rain. We'll see a coincidence that mother and daughter planned an outing to the East City at the same day Videl and Goku were meeting up. Even more of a coincidence that at the exact time, E.T. and Marin passed the Suru Cafe from the opposite side of the street, on the way to their next destination. As E.T. looked around to make sure she was going in the right direction, something caught her eye. Across the street in a cafe, she saw Videl and Goku sitting together, conversing. Surprised, she stopped in her tracks. She knew about the strain between Gohan and Goku. After all, she was at Gohan's birthday party. She never heard nobody in Gohan's family had seen Goku since he left Mount Paozu. So, what was this about? Why were Goku and Videl meeting in the East City of all places? She hadn't much time to stare at her any longer as her daughter interrupted her monologue. Mom, I'm getting wet! Huh? E.T. answered as she stepped out of her daze. Mary pointed to the umbrella her mother had in her hand. You had the umbrella, remember? Oh, sorry. Let's go. Let's just we can cross now. 18-9 walked closely to her daughter to make sure she was shielded from the rain. As they crossed the street, she took one last look at the two in the cafe, wondering what was happening, what was going to happen. Oblivious to the fact that A.T. and Marin had passed them, that was a nice scene. Videl and Goku continued their discussion. And you mentioned you think you accidentally interrupted Gohan for saying something to Ox King as well? Goku asked. Yes, after I sat for Gohan and came downstairs, Ox King had this look on his face. He told me that something was not quite right. It was very subtle, but it was there. Goku leaned back in his chair as he looked outside the window. He expressed himself both his concern and frustration with the situation. What was he to do? Videl already had an answer. You need to talk to him. The Saiyan looked at her and sat upright. I want to, but I don't know how. Last time we spoke, he wouldn't even look at me. No matter what I say, I'm not sure I would get through at all. Goku was now wallowing in swift pity. He felt strong when this started, but time was wearing on. However, his daughter-in-law was not about to give up the easy. Goku, I might not have known you as long as Bulma or Yamcha, but ever since I met you, I saw you were not one to give up. Listen, I don't know what's going to happen with all this, but I do know, however, is that something has to be done. Not to salvage your relationship with Gohan, but to salvage Gohan's psyche. It's clear that he suffered a lot of trauma that he has to deal with in a healthy way. Not gonna lie to you, it sounds like some mistakes were made that, one way or another, led to this. But you have a chance to fix some of those mistakes to the best of your ability. Even if he doesn't want to talk with you, you have to be persistent. You may not know it, but this is the time he needs you to talk. Get his real feelings out. You know it to both of you. Goku was taken aback. Videl had never spoken to him in such a tone. Well, it was kind of tough love he needed. She was right in everything she said. He needed to persevere through the doubt. You're right, he replied. You're right. I can't feel sorry for myself about this. At least trying to make amends. I'm not sure when, where, or how to do it. Get time to sink in. Think about what you want to say to him. Probably best if you two talked a few months after the baby is born. When things settle down a little. This to give us plenty of time to plan something out. Us? Fidel smiled. What? Think I'm gonna let you take all the credit for this? So he proceeded to take one sip from her tea while Goku chuckled in response. His daughter-in-law was truly someone unique. After setting her tea back down, Fidel announced that he had better start heading home. The two paid for their drinks and made their way back outside, where the rain was now slowing down to a drizzle. Thank you for meeting with me today, Goku. It's I who should be thanking you. Like I said before, I haven't told anyone about this, so now let's keep this between us until we figure something out. Goku nodded. Goodbye, Goku. Take care of yourself and your family. Goodbye, Fidel. The Saiyan turned and watched his daughter-in-law talking to the crowd. After he disappeared from view, Goku walked to a nearby deserted alley. Quickly shot up into the sky, pulled the air traffic, and rain clouds, and took off. Feeling emotionally drained from her conservation, Fidel made her way to her hover car a block away. While the slight drizzle that persisted did not help her stave exhaustion, so he hoped the good things were to help perk her up a little. She reached the vehicle, she tried her best to clear her mind. Things had become so complicated recently, so he was worried about Gohan's mental health. Things would only get worse as he didn't have an outlet for his emotions. After starting up the engines, he began to ascend in the air. It wasn't until she cleared the building in front of her that for the first time she felt a wave of relaxation. During the slight drizzle, this was one of the most pressurized horizons he had ever seen. Dark clouds were laying receding sunlight high on the emerald green mountains past the city lights. It was the scene Fidel began to fall a state of much-needed zen. Unfortunately, this zen lasted only for a moment. Because the city dump truck, what? Blinded by the sun's rays breaking through the clouds, what? Mistakenly veered off course of normal air traffic, what? It smashed on the driver's side of Fidel's hover car. What? Oh, Vic, don't tell me you're about to make up drama.